To do it away from your members and your fans, but still to do it and achieve it?
Yeah, it's hard to put it into words. You know, obviously there's unbelievable emotion that's attached to 57 years. The people of Perth, the supporters that got over here, endured something they'll remember forever. But in saying that, we do feel for the people back home. You know, they weren't able to be here today, but what I do know is I'm pretty sure that they're enjoying their lounge rooms. They're proud as they could ever be about their club, and 57 years, and they've suffered a lot through that time, and I'm sure they're incredibly proud of their boys, and as I am.
What did you think when they got 19 up, 12 in the mark of the third?
We're in trouble. Look, there's games of momentum. You know, we've been in that position before throughout the year, where we've been down in games, especially at half-time. You know, I remember, I think it was around 11 or 12 against Brisbane in Sydney. We were down by 20 heading into half-time, and the boys' ability to reset, their ability to understand what's required in the game is really strong, and we drew on that belief today. You know, they were playing some unbelievable footy. We've got enormous respect for them, and we had to change a few things. We had to get a few things right, and the guys implemented it. But all year they've been able to reset, and they proved it on the biggest stage today under the most pressure, and that's what I'm really proud of, because we were challenged. There's no question we were challenged by a really good side, but we turned it around.
Did you reset halfway through the third? Like, how does that happen? Because it felt like the Dogs changed something in the breaks, but you guys were able to actually change the momentum of the game mid-quarter.
Yeah, look, we were still under pressure a little bit early in the third quarter. I thought our backs held up really well in the start of that third quarter. You know, it was an area of the ground that we were losing in that second quarter. We were losing contests behind the ball, but we stiffened up behind the ball. And then once we got that one goal back, then these boys took over in the midfield and started to get some centre bounce dominance, and that's where the game changed.
Christian's second half of the third quarter, can you talk us through that?
Extraordinary. You know, I thought all our inside mids, you know, that centre bounce dominance in the third quarter. I thought Luke Jackson came into the centre bounce and was sensational, along with Christian, Clayton, and obviously Jack were in there. But to get that type of momentum in a big game, you know, that's full of resilience and character. But it was led by, you know, Jacko, and, you know, our inside mids got to work. So Jacko's been building to that for a little while. And Max in the end came off and said, you've got to keep him in there. And, you know, that's credit to our culture, you know, that selfless nature. And when someone's hot, let them go.
Christian, when you finally picked up your phone, I'm sure it was blowing up. Who was the first phone call go to?
My girlfriend, Bella. She's been an amazing support for me the last couple of years. And then obviously my parents as well. They're bitterly disappointed they can't be here, but they're really super proud of myself and the footy club. And it's been a long journey, and they've been on this journey with me since day one of, you know, since I got drafted. And to fulfill a dream and into reality, and to do something the club hasn't done for a long time is, it's pretty special.
A few tears from Mum?
Yeah, a few tears from myself too. Yeah, a few tears from everyone, to be honest. This game is just an emotional game, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of the footy club that has invested so much into me off the field, more than on the field. And my family, and they've welcomed me with open arms, and to be a part of this club is just, it's unreal.
Christian, where does the belief come from, do you think, from a switch in momentum like you're able to pull off in that third term?
It comes from our work we do away from the club. We do so much work with Burgess, and we knew that we're one of the, you know, probably the fittest team in the AFL, and and I guess, you know, from our leaders as well, you know, Gorney and Viney, and guys who've created the culture for, you know, 3 or 4 years now. We get belief off that, and you know, reiterating what Goody said, the selfless nature of Gorney to keep himself out of the ruck and to keep Jacko in there. You know, 2 or 3 years ago, people like that probably wouldn't have done that, but to have that cultural switch now and to have that is the reason why we've got medals around our neck.
Simon, you're sitting on the beach in Yanchip on Thursday. Go up and have a palm with a pot. Did you consider losing? And did you consider that you could have lost today and still the journey that you've created? Yeah, it does make you premiers, but it still doesn't take away from what you've been able to do with this group to take it from the bottom to the top.
Yeah, look, I considered all those things. I think it's very natural for an individual to think about the loss, and it's very natural for your mind to move forward to the victory as well. And I thought all about that. But when I was reflecting on where our club's come from, the impact of our leaders, our footy department, and how they have taken their club, and the amount of people back home and the supporters and the past players, the message that we're saying about how proud they are of their footy club, that's what really resonated with me, and it was a really good piece of reflection. But I think this brings it all together. You know, it brings a smile to my face. You know, I found myself today, I had tears before the game even started. And I was laying on my bed crying, just thinking of just how proud I was of the group. You know, I spoke to him in the team meeting last night, and I got a little bit emotional there because of how far they've come. You know, 2 years ago we were 17th. It's a long way back to the top, and to play the way we played, it's a big rise.
You kept mentioning this year the word selfless, and I think quite a few of your leaders did. Can we take that to mean that previously you were selfish?
I don't think anyone goes out there deliberately to be selfish, and you know, Christian can be a testament of this. You know, you're an 18-year-old. We have a lot of guys coming into our footy club at the same age, and it's very natural to think of yourself, to build your own career and to get accolades and to do all those things in the game. It's very natural, but it took some adversity. It took missing the finals again last year before the players said enough's enough. We've got talent. We need to be better, and it's about the team being better. And that's when we saw the biggest shift, and Christian's probably the bigger one to speak about that.
How much did you tap into the club's history and drought in the build-up to the game? My understanding is you got some video messages from some past players, and perhaps even used one of Neil Danaher's great quotes last night when you were talking to the group. How much did you tap into all of that in the build-up?
Yeah, we've been tapping into it for probably 4 or 5 years now, in terms of our real higher purpose that we have is to bring happiness and fulfilment to those around us, and that's our supporters, it's past players, it's our families, it's our kids, it's everyone that's involved in footy, and that's the greatest satisfaction you get as an individual. You, when you walk off the ground and you see your loved ones, or you see the supporters joy on their face, that's why you play the game. And we tapped into all of that over the last 4 or 5 years. We used Neil Danaher. We've got some great stories at our footy club. And I know our past players, I'm sure their WhatsApp's blowing up at the moment.
Christian, you're talked about as a star of the competition. When you see another star like Bontempelli play the second quarter that he played, which basically appeared to be tilting the game the other way, do you take it upon yourself to lift, or is that a group thing that you had to sort of get that sway back in the game?
Definitely a group thing. Yeah, no doubt he's an absolute superstar of the competition, and you know, we spoke about it before the game that you know, both teams are good teams, and there's going to be momentum swings, and they're going to kick 3 or 4, and we're going to kick 3 or 4. So it's about harnessing that and just accepting that they're a good team. And at half time, we spoke about that you know, they're a good team, and we understand that they're going to play some great footy. So for me, seeing Bontempelli do what he did was nothing really different for what I did. I mean, he's such a great player, and he's probably expected he does that. For me, it's just going back to my basics and understanding what makes me a great player, and that's winning the ball and winning the contest. And I think we did that, not just myself, but Clayton and Viney and Jacko. We went back to our strengths, which is winning the hunt, winning the inside, and then exploding from there.
How are you different to what the player you were in 2018 when you were last in finals?
It's an interesting one. Jesus, fair bit, to be honest. Yeah, I think more off the field than on the field, to be honest. I've no doubt always had the talent, and you know, always been the player that I am. I just think off the field, I've just got a great balance of knowing who I am, why I want to play footy, my purpose, and there's no better person than the person to my right who's been unbelievable for me in my journey. I'm about to get emotional here. Who's backed me in from day one, and has always been there for me. And yeah, I think what I'm doing on the field is a credit to who I am off the field, in terms of who I am as a person and how I see myself every day.
Did you ever question yourself, Simon? Big couple of years for the footy club, for you as a coach. I mean, it felt externally like you were under the pump at some point, but what do we know in the media, right? Did you feel under the pump? Did you feel under pressure? Did you question yourself?
I think, yeah. I certainly questioned myself at the end of 2019, because I could feel the game that was getting hold of me. from a pressure and stress, and I was investing a lot, and it was wearing me down emotionally. But I got some mentors away from the game, away from footy. They were just different. You know, they worked with me around my energy, what to give energy to, what to let go, and just to be me. And that's the most important part. You know, I wasn't being me. And, you know, we made some significant shifts last year as a footy club. You know, we won 6 out of the last 9 on the way home. And that's just transferred into this year. But, you know, probably best to ask him. But, you know, I got back to smiling. I got back to loving the game, having fun, enjoying what I do. And, yeah, you're under pressure, but I wanted to do it the way that I wanted to do it, which was believe in my philosophies of how I think the game should be played, invest into the players with their relationships and back them in. And, you know, I'm fortunate to have a great group of people that I work with, and that's what it takes to be successful.
So what was he like, Christian, before and after? Grumpy coach turned into happy coach?
He's always been good. I think he's very hard on himself, to be honest. I think as players we can take a lot of the blame too. It's easy to you know, say that the coach's fault, but at the end of the day we're the ones playing and we're the ones that have to fulfil what he's putting out with us. And you know, we obviously, as you said, we speak about that selflessness a lot. You know, I think if you watch us, you know, last year to this year, it's chalk and cheese how much different we are and how selfless we are. I mean, Clayton Oliver's one, for example. He's just an incredible person off the field and on the field, and what he's done this year in terms of being a better teammate and fulfilling that is reason why we've got, you know, medals around our neck as well. And yeah, I think you're very hard on yourself, to be honest, which is good. We all like that. We have high expectations of ourselves, but I think we all just went back this year just to enjoy our footy, having fun. Even at half time, we're a little bit flat the first 3 or 4 minutes. We had to accept that they're a really good team, and then we just had to go out there and just put a smile on our faces and just enjoy this, just embrace what we're doing, going. And yeah, no club's done this Melbourne Footy Club since 1964, and we've just created history.
Christian, in that last quarter, could you enjoy it when you're up? What was it like out there when you sort of knew you were at home?
Yeah, I had to keep doing the math to see if I could smile or not. I think I came off with 10 minutes left, and I was working out we're up by 40, they kick 6. So I was, the last 10 minutes when I came on, Maisie kept yelling at me for smiling. He was like, effing focus. And I said, mate, just smile a bit, to be honest. But I think that's been our motto all week, is just, not motto, sort of what we're trying to do all week is just embrace this. You know, there's no point being nervous. I didn't want to look back at this week, win or lose, and look back and say I was a nervous wreck. I want to absolutely enjoy this week, have fun with the people who I love being around all week. And yeah, when the siren went, we actually organised the Clayton and Salem and we said if the siren goes, we'll meet in the middle, and we did. So when the siren went, we went. It was awesome.
Can we clarify how bad May's hamstring actually was?
It was solid. Yeah. No, it was. It had a reasonable tear to it. But, you know, the medicos and the fitness staff did an unbelievable job. They treated it clinically. You know, we got a scan and there were some results there that weren't great. We treated it clinically. All his strength was there. He trained fully. He got through all the tests. And we were prepared to take that risk, and as he was. So, incredible job by our medicos, really. Seriously, unbelievable job.
It's a grand final risk, though, and is it a Stephen May risk? Like, are you risking a different sort of player in round 14 with that injury?
Oh, I think if it was round 14, he's probably not playing, Richard. You'd agree with that? You know, it's you know, you would have given him a few weeks just to settle it down a little bit, but you know, we haven't got a few weeks. We had to win today. And he was fit and he was ready.
Does it feel like the end of something, Simon, or the beginning of something, do you think, for this group?
Oh, it's not the end of anything. No, this is the start for our footy club. This is where we want to be. But what we do know is the respect that we need to show the competition, and we need to show to ourselves of how hard it is to be in this position. It's not an easy position to get to. And we'll hit pre-season when the time comes with that respect and that work that's required to stay here. It's not easy, and it doesn't come off just talent.
Was there a moment in the game, sort of back to what Christian was saying before, where you allowed yourself to think, we've got this?
I think I said to Richo, I think it was 7 minutes to go, and I said, Lee Matthews once told Richo that it's a goal per minute and you're pretty safe. And he said there's 8 goals and there's 7 minutes left. We should be all right. And that's when I started to relax and smile.
All good.
All good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.